This is Greg with IIoT World, and I'm here with Sternum IoT's CEO, Natali Tshuva. Welcome, Natali.
Thank you, Greg. Great to be here.
Great to have you. So maybe we'll kick it off, Natali. In your opinion, what's the most pressing issue with respect to cybersecurity and digitalization efforts from an IoT perspective in the manufacturing space and even the energy sector?
Yeah, so this is, as you know, a very complex question, but I will try to stay away from trivial things like fragmentation and no standardization,
Right.
and say these few words. One is digitalization, and everything that we are building in our critical infrastructures, energy, medical devices is very innovative and very impactful, but it's been built on an infrastructure that is kind of broken, on embedded systems, on real-time operating systems, and on tools that didn't advance in decades. And I'm talking about observability tools, DevOps tools, and of course, security tools. So we have these amazing, innovative industries, but they are left behind in things that are becoming the standard for application development, but the embedded development is far away. And I think this is one of the most pressure issues. And that leads to the second issue, is that we need to be more asset-centric in how we secure and observe our systems. Most of the solutions in the industry today are trying to do everything from the network. I get it, it's easier, but it's very, very limited, because at the end, all industries protect assets at the endpoint, and we can't really do something different in the IoT space and expect it to be effective. And I think the missing piece, Greg, is enabling developers, engineers, and product teams to implement advanced security and observability tools into their products, and it's missing in today's world.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective. And I know you folks have just launched recently a free version of your software package, but tell me specifically, and I think it goes in line with the latter part of your comment, what is that going to do for the Linux community as it relates to OpenWrt development for products?
Yeah, so we released a free runtime protection for OpenWrt. And the reason we did that is first trust, because many of the customers and engineers that we are talking with are saying, there is not enough resources on my device, there is no way it can run an endpoint protection or external tools. And what we did is first prove them wrong in terms of how lightweight our security solution is. Second is that we brought a very advanced capabilities like control flow integrity and memory protection and command injection prevention in one-click installation. Literally, you can install it on the various diversified world of Linux embedded in a single click. And I think that's something that the embedded space has never seen before. And we plan to release even more free solutions for the benefit of engineers just playing around with our product.
Natali, maybe tell me a little bit about your perspective and what are you folks seeing from a regulatory standpoint, the emerging regulations around these aspects of cybersecurity?
Yeah, so this is very interesting because we're seeing different movements in different industries. In the medical space, the FDA has become much more strict in the question directed at medical device manufacturers about cybersecurity, about monitoring. Devices have to communicate, devices have to be monitored, cybersecurity has to be handled. And what was once one question about cyber became 10, 20, and 50 questions to get the clearance, which I think is a very good move. In other industries, we're seeing even consumer labeling by NIST. We are seeing customers requiring either cyber insurance or some insurances about how your device is being developed. Even here in Israel, there is a new regulation and recommendation to allow consumers to know what is the cybersecurity level of the devices that they are buying. So I think a lot of entities are trying to make a move into improving the situation, and it's a direct result of hacks and breaches that happened in the last year, and the understanding that IoT device is more than just a physical system that can be hacked, but it can be the entry point or the start of a very significant attacks. Yeah.
Interesting. No, great insight. How about you mentioned the insurance industry, and I always think that's an interesting, interesting octopus, for lack of a better way to put it too, because they always seem to follow and figure out where those. Are you seeing activity there as well? Are you in tune with it? Okay.
Yes, we're seeing requirements. So when a partner or a customer, a big enterprise, is buying equipment or buying products, those products become assets in the network, and it exposes them to risk. Even if the product itself isn't critical, not all products are PLCs,
Right.
but still they matter. So we do see more demand, and I think what's good about Sternum is that it can provide some insurances and risk reduction in real time, and we can help with specific threats. So we have like a menu of this and that threat types are covered, and that helps with the situation of customer requirements, insurances, in terms of what happens if there is a hack and so on.
Great. No, thank you. Thanks for sharing that.